Hey guys, it is Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Today we're gonna try something new. This is the Hiboy S2R Plus electric scooter. And I am about to take it out for a spin for the first time. So I'll kind of go over everything this thing has to offer. You know, you got your typical brake, you got your bell, throttle, and there's your display. So you got 5 bars there, a fully charged battery, reads out miles an hour. Press it twice, it goes to 13 miles an hour. And then the red goes up to 19, which is the top speed. Now, one unique feature about this scooter would be these keys right here, and I'll show you what that does. It has a removable battery. So this is a 36 volt 8.7 amp hour battery, lithium ion battery. So if you wanted to buy a second battery and want to go further, you could do that. And I'm not paying $160 for a second battery because I don't really need to go that far. But this feature is definitely convenient to have. So you got a charge port right here if you want to charge a scooter like normally you would. You also got a port right here. So you got 2 different ways to charge it, which is very convenient actually. I think this thing weighs about, I don't know, 5 pounds. It just slides back in here. You actually don't need a key to put it back in there, and you just tap it like that. Boom. It's got 9-inch pneumatic tires. And what's cool about these rims is they're split. So if you remove these screws, that splits the rim in half. That makes it easier to change your tires. Picked this thing up off Amazon. It was a used, like new one. And looking at it, it has never been used. So somebody probably bought it for their kid and they figured that it wouldn't fit them, so that's where they ended up returning it. But it's like new. No signs of use whatsoever. But that is about to change. So this thing is normally $400 on the Hiboy website, but I got a good deal on this used one off Amazon, so I figured I'd give it a shot. And looking at all the bells and whistles and how it performs and all, I figured this thing would be a pretty nice fit. I'm gonna snap a couple more pictures without me in the shadow, of course. All right, let's give this thing a shot. Here we go. Okay, it looks like it coasts pretty well. So you got bars right there on the top, below the top speed there. It shows you how hard the motor's working. That's pretty cool. And after you hold the throttle down for like 5 seconds, it goes into cruise control. Now there's also an app. It's the Hiboy app. But since somebody already bought this thing and dealt with it, I can't get it to connect to the app, but at least it'll do the top speeds and everything. Really the only thing I could do in the app would be things like lock or unlock the scooter electronically, which I don't really need. And what was the other thing? And also changing miles an hour to kilometers an hour and such. I don't really need any of those extra features in the app. Yeah, it feels pretty good so far. So why don't we keep on going? I hear that motor whining. I like that. Doing 19. Coasting. So I noticed the motor behavior in electric scooters when I run the motor without it being on the ground. So on Go Tracks, you know, when you let off the throttle, the motor just freewheels. But on this, you still got a little energy flowing through, but it shouldn't affect the coasting at all. But it looks like it's coasting well enough to where I would hold on to this thing, because I don't like it regenning, and I just like to, you know, coast like I do on a bicycle. Alright, well, let's see how it does at 13 miles an hour. So it kind of slows you down. That's probably good for if you want to have your kids toy around with it. This thing's ripping. It's a 350 watt hub motor in the front wheel. We got some hills coming up. Yeah, I used to have a Segway. It's one of the F-Series models, the F-35. There was no way to where you could disable that regenerative braking. When you let off the throttle, it slows you down tremendously, even in weak setting. I didn't like that, so I sold it. And this one's kind of in between that and a Go Tracks. I mean, it's coasting pretty good. We got some pretty big hills here, so let's see how this thing does. I can also watch the bars, and it tells me how hard the motor's working. That's pretty cool. I weigh about 120 down to 16. So if you're someone who weighs more and you want something powerful, I'd say maybe a 500 watt or a 750 watt model. 350 is good, but if you're on the heavier side, probably want something a little more powerful. That was a little sit-down scooter. Pretty nice day today. Kind of bundled up because of the wind. I was out riding yesterday and I was getting cold as the sun went down. My only question is, can I get this thing past 20 on any part of the trail? Because I've gone past 20 before on my e-bike and GoTrax scooter. We'll find that out maybe when the wind is not in my face. It's right around 3 o'clock right now, about 58 degrees. I mean, if you bundle up, this is pretty good for riding. But after today, it's going to be pretty chilly for quite a while. So I'll definitely start riding more as soon as the weather warms up. So if you're climbing a hill and cruise control comes on and then it flattens out, it's going to keep you at whatever speed it's going. Let's see here. Looks like. Alright. This thing feels pretty solid. Somebody took their horse on the trail, crapped all over the place. I don't think horses are allowed on this trail. That crap's been there for quite a while. I'm surprised they haven't cleaned it. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to have horses out here on this trail. You're not supposed to have motorcycles or ATVs, anything like that either, but one wheels, these electric scooters, electric bikes, they're all exceptions. And I know that because I've done the research and saw that these are allowed, so. I was out here riding about a week ago. I saw a couple of young dudes. They're probably in about their late teens, early 20s. They were like around the tail end of finishing high school. As I passed them, one of them said, "No electronics allowed on the link trail." So I looked at them. I continued going where I was going. I turned around. And then as I saw them again coming back, I told them about the rules of the trail and all that, just letting them know I'm being a good human, following the rules, all that good stuff. So I just wanted to help make them more comfortable. And that's actually one of the reasons why I do these videos. It's one of the reasons why I do this channel. Because I want to show the world the beauty of riding, as well as some of the things I'm up to, and also share some history and anything you need to know about different trails and whatnot. So I definitely thought it was a good idea to do these videos. As much as I enjoy riding, as much as I enjoy showing my friends, my family, and the world, doing fun things and all that, I mean, yeah. All right, there goes one bar. The advertised range on this scooter is about 22 miles. I don't know if it's gonna go that much if I'm punching it at full punch all the way through. But today's a nice day, and it's gonna be colder for a while after today, so and I have nothing important today, so I'll just hang out here and ride around and play with this, tour around this thing until the battery quits. All right, this is one of the big hills. Can I get it past 20 on these downhills? Let's see. All right, 19. There's 20. No cars coming. 22. So definitely more resistance from the motor than on the Go tracks, but better than a Segway. Yeah, these electric scooters, I mean, these things are freaking awesome. I mean, they are fun to ride. Even though I'm not really getting exercise, I mean, if you want to get outside and just feel the wind without having to break a sweat, I mean, these are perfect for that. If you're just like moving around, gliding around, the scooter thing is pretty awesome. It's a lot of fun. Go on the mountain bike trail there. Warm winter days are actually perfect for mountain biking. I'll definitely be doing more of that when it warms up. I bet there's some really neat mountain bike trails up north. We need to go check those out for sure. Dad and I've been riding mountain bikes a lot growing up. Dealing with a little headwind right now. All right. We'll see how it does when it's powered off down this hill. Maybe I'll turn it on when I get down here and see if I notice any difference. Not much of a difference. I think winds are blowing west today. I'm so sorry. I should have let him know. All right. We're struggling up this hill. Went down to 12. Had on cruise at 19. Dang. She's struggling. It's a pretty steep hill. I get it. I have a GoTrax G3 Plus as well. So performance wise, I mean, it's about the same. And G3 Plus has a 300 watt. This is a 350.
You might as well go this way now. I was going to take it on cruise.
That Range Rover souped up. I got it. See how it does in drive mode. See, it only gets up to 13. Not super fast, but good for your kids or teenagers. And if you're going to like a big city where you don't have as much room to go fast. Got enough room on this to send it. Gotta be careful around this corner here. Before we go, I'll also show you that it's got front and rear lights. So if you tap the brake when the lights are on, it flashes. If you turn the light off, it's just a steady red. Alright, after that Camaro, pretty good looking one. I can beat that truck. Good. Down to 3 bars. I went down to 3, like back there before I crossed the interstate. That big hill where I was struggling like crazy. It's actually coasting pretty well. Before we continue on the path, I want to show you up here. Got some long sidewalk stretches I tried. You're really not supposed to be riding on sidewalks in the state of Georgia, state law, but this is wide and open enough. I've seen a couple cops come by on the road here and they didn't say anything. So as long as I'm giving people space and riding responsibly, I mean, they generally don't care. Because people probably ride from these houses here and then they just ride this onto the trail. So this is kind of out in the country, the Wild West, I should say. Plus, they usually have bigger fish to fry. So like bigger incidents where they have that could potentially do more harm. But yeah, this is a pretty neat little hilly stretch here. And I was able to go pretty fast on this stretch right here at one time. All right, down to 2 bars now. Wind kind of makes it hard to go over 20. But I did hit 22 back there. Turn around right here. So maybe I'll take this thing for one more spin later on. Especially with the fact that I can't connect to the app. That would be a valid reason to return it, but I mean, I'm kind of liking this thing so far. The battery's getting low, so it's not absolutely punching, but still get me up the hill pretty good. But yeah, I ordered it for Amazon, and their return process is a breeze. So if you can order for Amazon, do that. So that way if you don't like it or if it's not what you're looking for, and returning it is a piece of cake. I mean, can't beat it. I have no idea what that noise is. It's probably my bell. I think if I hold the brake, it goes away. Yeah. No cars coming. gonna try something. Go down that same hill with it turned off. I want to see how fast the motor spins, because I remember it spinning pretty fast when the battery was full. At full 19. So let's see how fast it can go. Oh, spinning about the same as it was when it was full. See, it'll coast, but you still hear the static going through the motor. It's kind of hard to get this above 20 unless you're going down a really steep hill with a tailwind. I did check the tires and they were pre-filled. Probably about time to swap my GoPro battery. I'll do that up here. Can't turn it off when it's rolling, so I gotta give it a kickstart. Wind is what's making it hard to even get to the top speed. If I turn it on right now, I'll see if that makes a difference. Not really. Couldn't tell what that e-bike was, but it was an e-bike. See, on the cruise control on this one, if you're climbing up a hill full throttle and it's like at 15, it'll maintain that speed. On the Go Tracks, if you're full throttle and going slower uphill, then it'll get to the top speed once it flattens out to where the motor can get you to that speed. So this one's definitely different. And you know, Go Tracks is definitely my taste. And they're based in the USA. While the vast majority of these other companies are based in China. Like Hiboy, but generally speaking, they do have customer support and US facilities and all that. See, I got the one wheel, which is some future motion. I got the Go Tracks scooter stuff and the e-bike. I'm also looking at a Velotric because I like the bells and whistles that their e-bikes have, and I've heard great things about them, so that'll probably end up being my next ride at one point. It's like the battery's getting pretty low. I'm gonna go up this road here, see how it does, even though the battery's getting low. There's a lot of traffic. Let's see how many miles I've ridden. 11 and a half. And I've been riding for just over an hour. I'll wait on this traffic to clear up. After that car up there, shovel window. I'll let him go. Somebody go on the road. And then this can actually be the test for how fast I can get this thing to go. But yeah, if you're in the market for an electric scooter and you want a battery that's removable, I'd grab this guy. And I'd order for Amazon if you can, because the return process is quite a breeze. All right, let's see how fast we can go. Kind of hard with the wind to get going faster. There's 20. That truck up there is turning. So I'm going to turn around right here. That old lady's probably calling me names, I don't know. Didn't look like it, Alright, back at the skate park. Battery's getting low. Let's see if I can hop this little thing here. Barely got off the ground on that one. Yeah, it's noticeably slower now that the battery is getting pretty low. Man, I wish I had these when I was a kid. Well, I had that Razor or Crazy Cart. I freaking loved that thing. I had it when I was like 12. That was the only electric thing I had. But I had plenty of scooter, tricycle, plasma car, all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. Glad to get out and ride today. It's something new, especially. Yeah, it looks like the battery is about done. Can it get me up this hill? Dang, she's barely making it. Just trying to give you the full picture on this thing if you're in the market for it. Except the app, because I can't connect to it. But that's not a big deal, because there's not much else I can do in that app. Dang, more like a snail now. So yeah, how did I get into the electric scooter thing? Well, when I was living in Columbus, and then seeing all these rental scooters in Atlanta, and then college students zipping around. I had a one wheel first, but as much as I like coasting downhill and being on two wheels as well, I figured, why not get a scooter and see what that's like? Sure enough, got one. That's a ton of fun. So yeah, I think it's about done at this point. All right. This is probably going to be my last video for a little while, because I don't really have any other rides planned that would be calling for me to make a video, so I'll probably throw out some shorts here and there and all that. But I'll definitely start riding more as soon as the weather warms up. But we do get some warm days in Georgia here and there, so yeah. Well, there you have the Hiboy S2R Plus. Let's see, we rode 13 miles. So you can easily get over 10 miles on this thing, especially on flat ground. So it's got decent range. So yeah. Which turns out to be just as I was expecting. So maybe I'll take it out for another spin, and when it's not as windy, maybe when I can get at least 20 or 22 down a hill, and go from there. So all right, so I'm out here a week later. Today is Wednesday, January 21st. So last ride I kind of found out when I was playing my air pump on these tires, they were only holding like 20 psi. The max psi on these tires is about 50. So I brought them up to a few pounds below max. So it should roll much better now, and probably get over 20 on these hills. So let's give it a shot. It's a little chilly, about 50 degrees. Me being bundled up, it's not too bad. This thing gets up to 19 pretty easily, which I like. Not sure if I'd want to go any faster than this on a scooter with these little wheels. I mean, these wheels are definitely bigger than those on a Razor, but much smaller than those on a bicycle. But on this trail especially, it's definitely about as fast as I would want to go. Tan truck up there, looks like my uncle's. It's a Ram Rebel 1500. They're great looking trucks. Yeah, this thing definitely goes, even when I let off the throttle. Unlike the Segway scooters, you cannot disable that regenerative braking that they have when you let go of the throttle. I wasn't crazy about that, because you're constantly having to fight it going down hills. And you know, I like to coast when I'm on a bicycle. So this and go-kart scooters, I mean, they'll just go, they'll just fly down hills. And that's exactly what I'm looking for in rides that have two wheels. But on a single wheel device like my one wheel, you know, it's got to keep you balanced, so. You're still kind of in control, but you know, on two wheels, I like to have the option to just coast. Nothing wrong with Segway, but I just don't like the fact that you cannot turn off the regen braking completely when you let off the throttle, but that's just me. But a lot of people in the market for a scooter, you know, they get these to commute to work and stuff. But they're actually a lot of fun. And they're fairly affordable. I got a big hill coming up, so let's see how this 350 watt motor will do. Let's try out the bell. I should be doing that when I see people ahead, so I can let them know that I'm coming. Glad to be outside today. Been inside too much lately. Need to get off that screen. So I weigh about 120. Let's see how this thing will do up this steep hill. This has got to be like a 20-25% grade. So you got bars on top of the display above your speed. Shows you how hard the motor's working, which is pretty cool. It's holding on at 17. Nice. No cars coming. I really need to stop. Kind of treat it differently on these trails compared to a car. I mean, in a real car, you gotta stop at a stop sign. Holding off about 14 up this hill. Didn't drop below. Not bad. Like I say, you may want something a little more powerful if you're on the heavier side. But as a 22-year-old young man who only weighs like 115, 120, this is actually plenty. Also very ideal for college students. I've seen a bunch of college students on these things. Sometimes they use them as their main mode of transport when they live in those dorms. But to me, these are just fun. I like motors. I like riding. And I've been riding bikes all my life. Yeah, I think I might keep this thing. It's coasting much better now than it did the first time I rode it. Because I didn't even touch air pressure. This thing is smooth. I actually like it. Around here, while I'm here, I'll try out the Yeah, it's in dry mode. Okay. So in this mode, you can only go 13 miles an hour. So not crazy fast, but this is what I would do if you have someone who's new to scooters or you have kids. This is actually good, so that way it's not going to take off on you. Yeah, it feels solid and smooth. Non-removable battery, I would recommend this. Got some people out today. Weather next few days is supposed to be nasty. Coming by on your left. Okay, yeah, after I fill up those tires, it's much better. So I should fly down these hills coming up. I'll show you one thing. It's actually very important if you're in the market for a scooter. This label right here. So Underwriter Laboratories, or UL, this is 2272, which covers the entire electrical system. So that means it has undergone some rigorous testing of all kinds. And that's actually a good thing because it lowers the risk of a fire or a short circuit. So that tells you that this is a very safe and reliable product. So it's something you need to look for if you're in the market for one of these, because there's a ton of them out there that do not have that. You have a higher chance of going up in flames and malfunctioning. So if you see any one of these that has that UL certification, it tells you it is a safe and solid product. Companies invest quite a bit of money into that for their products. It ain't cheap. I think only the good companies out there would do that. All right. So yeah. Looks like this truck wants to turn around. My second time riding this thing. Doing great so far. Go Tracks and Hiboy would be my go-tos. I have more experience with Go Tracks, but so far with the Hiboy, it's all good. I'll go up here and see how fast when we go down these hills. Walk around these people.
Yeah.
What's this truck doing? Wind doesn't play around too much, I can probably get it going down this hill. Let's see. There's 20. Yeah, it's a little windy. Maybe we can get over 20 here. Yeah, there we go. Gotta squat down a little bit. Let's drag. Recording notification, by the way. Holding off at 20. There's 21. Yeah, it's kind of this wind. All right. Take a brief break for a minute because my fingers do not like these cold conditions. So my fingers have what is called Raynaud's syndrome after being exposed to the cold air for a while. They turn white because the blood vessels in your fingers are so small that they contract when they get cool. So that's where they can feel kind of funny. Maybe I'll throw in a picture and you can see the difference. But yeah, once I get back in the heat, it probably takes about 5 or 10 minutes before they get back to normal. It's just the way it works for me. So I'm just here kind of keep them warm for a minute, so I don't see if I don't have an issue. I don't think it's a little quick fix, so might as well take it. faster. Let's go this way. Alright, this is a pretty steep downhill. Let's see how fast we can get it. Clear this wind. Alright, yeah, 21, 22. Can you get 23? I don't know about that. Woo! Oh, there. That's a big deer. Two of them. Tires are singing a little bit. Hear that motor cranking away. This road's not busy, we'll give it a shot. Four bars now. Been there for a while. So we got. There's that red-headed guy with the little stunt scooter. I see him out here all the time. He's really good. He even helped me try to jump on it at one time. I'm still trying to get used to it. There's downtown. Got getting lost to the left. Some studio apartments in an old mill building. Old textile mill. I think it closed down in the 50s. And then bed manufacturing used it for storage until the 90s. And this apartment bought the building to convert into some studio apartments. Pretty neat. Try this road here. Gotta look out for cars. Alright, we got a long uphill. I'll go back down the hill. Here we go. Gotta check my 6. Quite a bit. It's my 6 o'clock. So that means looking right behind me. Yeah, that's ice cream truck. surprising how he's still doing that in the winter. Because people are usually craving those cold sweets more in the summer. But apparently people do in the winter too. I made it up this hill about 15. Yeah, so far I love this thing actually. Send it down this hill. Alright, nobody behind me. Throttle's not going to do anything if you're at 19 or above. This is kind of hard to get it. Speed of the wind. Nobody behind me. Stopping power is pretty fierce. Dang, hear all those birds. Yeah, all those birds sitting up there in those trees. I'll let you listen for a second. And they're just flying around. Maybe I'll see if I can find a stick or something I can throw up there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to throw something big enough that high, but I can try. Let's see. Let's see if it can. I don't think there's anything I'll do about that. Alright, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with this thing. This is pretty much what I was looking for when I was looking at it. The removable battery, top speed and everything I've seen on YouTube videos. All the bells and whistles it has. I'm pretty happy with it. Only thing I wish I could do would be to connect to the app. But really all I can do with that is just change the miles an hour to kilometers an hour, which I don't do. And electronically lock it, which I don't really need anyway. So as long as the scooter can go top speed and, you know, coast down hills, I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, there's supposed to be a big winter storm coming this weekend. It's supposed to hit Metro Atlanta. But it's actually not going to be as bad as what the initial headlines were saying yesterday. The highs I think are going to be in the 40s. So it'll still probably be some ice. And after that, the highs are only going to be in like the 30s and the 40s. Maybe the low 50s for the next couple weeks. So, with that being said, it's probably going to be a while before I ride or post on this channel. So, I'll go ahead and get on through the winter. I'll focus on school, focus on work. And I'll definitely start getting out and riding some more when the weather warms up. So here you have the Hiboy S2R Plus. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your winter. I am very much looking forward to the spring. So yeah, stay warm, stay safe. Hope you guys have a good January and February. I don't ride or post anytime between. I will see you in the spring. So, thank you guys for watching. And I will see you then. Take care. Peace.